What's up everyone and welcome to the club. In today's video we're creating a sketch illustration of Ryu from Street Fighter. For today's lesson we'll be sketching with this 0.7mm mechanical pencil with a 2B graphite stick. We want to start a drawing by adding some guidelines to help with the balance and symmetry of our drawing. So we're going to start at the very top in the center. Let's sketch a line coming down the middle using these short lines. Now let's go up to the top and draw another line going across from left to right. Now we're going to use these two lines to help us create a circle on the top of our page to the top edge of the head. So from the center point, we're just going to move up, mark off the top of the head right around here, measure that distance from the center down towards the bottom, do the same thing. Now we're going to repeat that across this horizontal line. So measuring the distance from the center over toward the left, and then the right side. Now I want to connect the center point of each mark with a curve to create our circle. So let's start with the top left, and the circle doesn't have to be perfect, we're just using this as a guide. And we'll eventually erase this out. Let's add another line coming down the side of our circle. So we'll start with the left, coming all the way down. Do the same thing on the right. Now from the bottom of our circle, draw another line going across. Now we're going to start blocking out the proportions using some basic shapes. So let's start with the edge of the headband. We're going to start on the left side. Let's curve this down, just following the curve of our circle, and back up towards the right. Now in the center, we're going to draw two lines coming down in between the eyes. So let's move over toward the left, come all the way down towards the bottom, move over toward the right, and do the same thing. From the bottom edge of their headband, let's step down, draw a line going across the eyes. And then from these 2 points, we're going to angle the eyebrow, going up and then out towards that outside point. Let's tuck the eyes in underneath, starting on the left. Curve the eye coming down, across, and then in. Let's go back to the center, move all the way down to right about here. It's going to mark off the tip of the nose. And then from the tip, angle this up and then out. Close the top with a straight line, like an upside down triangle. Let's go back to the tip of the nose. We're going to step down, draw a straight line going across the mouth. Now let's go back up to the outside of the headband. Just going to angle the ears going up and then out. Come straight down the sides. Angle that back down and then in. Let's go back to the mouth. We're going to step down, locate the chin with a straight line going across from left to right. And then going back up to the bottom of the earlobes, slope the shoulders coming down and then out. Now we're going to go back and add some shape to the head. Let's start from the bottom of the eye line, angle this down and then in towards the jaw. Angle the chin, coming down and then in. Let's add the inside of the collar, starting from the top of the shoulder, go out and then down on both sides, and then come down and then in towards the middle. Now once we're happy with the basic proportions, we'll go back and lightly erase some of these guidelines. Now that we have our clean rough sketch, I'm going to go in and start modifying the shape and adding some more detail. Now I'd like to start with the top edge of the eyes. Let's start by rounding out the brow, coming up and in, just in towards the headband, and add that fold in between. It's going to work our way out, just underneath the eyes, and then across the eyebrow. So again, just adding some more shape, bending this up, and then out, going up underneath, and then tapering that down. Just working our way around the eyes. I just want to tuck the edge of the iris underneath the brow. You just see the bottom edge, just slightly coming down. I'm just going to work our way around the nose. Now we're going to add some shape to the mouth. Just going up along the side and then bend that down. tucking the lower lip underneath. And a little bit of an upper lip, and we'll shade that in. Now we're going to go back and just modify the cheekbones. Pull the chin down a little bit further. Now let's add some hair across the sideburns, coming down from the headband, and just overlapping the ears. And we'll go back and just modify the shape of the ears. Now we're just going to tear up the edge of the collar on the top. And now we're just going to overlap the hair on top of the headband. So starting from the left and working our way down, going in the opposite direction on the right side. Let's adjust the height of the head. So we're just going to bring this down a little bit lower. Adding these points across the top and just working our way across. Now we're going to go back and just clean up our drawing one final time before I add some more detail and shading. Now I'm going to switch to my 0.9mm mechanical pencil and start adding some contrast and more detail. So we'll start with the bottom edge of the headband first. Just add a little bit of detail on the side, just coming in, and going back to the brow. Just going to add a little bit of texture on the outside of the eyebrow, coming in, and we'll darken that up. Now the nose is going to cast a shadow coming down towards the mouth, so just darken that up. And just shift that over towards the right slightly. I'm just going to darken up the sideburns and just add some texture along the inside. And just adding some folds inside the ear. I'm just going to pull the texture of the hair up in towards the center of the head. I'm going to switch to the side edge of my wider pencil and start adding some shadows. And so I'm going to start back at the eyes. I'm just going to shift the shadow over towards the right. So the shadow will be a little bit heavier coming down the right side. And I'm just going to add an even shade to the top of the head. To soften up that texture along the bottom edge, just pulling this up and then in. I'm just going to pull that shadow over towards the right. Now the head's going to cast the shadow across the neck, so we just want to darken up the top and then fade that down. And again, we're just going to shift the shadow over towards the right. I'm just going to draw the edge of the headband along the left side. So just coming out from the side of the ear. Just adding some thickness, and then we'll shade that in. Now, as we get closer to the end, we're just going to tighten up our shadows, then a little bit more detail, and always be sure to sign our artwork. And that's pretty much it. There's a sketch illustration of Ryu from Street Fighter. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, please make sure you subscribe because I'm posting new lessons every single day. You can also check out our other sketch channels. I'll leave the links for you in the description below. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.